Hello, my name is Madison Collin. I'm from Section AB, and my poster is entitled Coral Bleaching. So, to dive right in, my umbrella topic was on the impacts of coral bleaching on a global scale. For some background, coral reefs are among the most diverse and productive ecosystems on our planet, supporting approximately 25% of marine species. On the graph next to background, you can see that all the areas across the globe recorded by NOAA where there's been a bleaching event and the rise in global sea temperatures. So global coral bleaching affects not only marine species, but also humans as well. And economically, socially, and environmentally, it has many, many detriments. Among the most commonly discussed in relation to humans is economic. Bleaching reefs have led to sharp declines in tourism, which in turn affects people in developing countries where there's a lot of job loss and reduced income for local businesses. Additionally, local fisheries and commercial fisheries are also dependent on coral reefs. As coral reefs suffer, fish populations also suffer, affecting um, the fishing economy. Um, Additionally, coral reefs prevent flooding, erosion, tsunamis, hurricanes, by acting as a barrier and protecting coastal areas. And without them, the costs of protection of these coastal areas, disaster recovery, and damage prevention escalates astronomically. Similarly, many communities in coastal areas rely on corals for their livelihoods through fishing and tourism, as I mentioned before, and the collapse of these reefs jeopardizes food security, increases poverty, and spreads cultural deprivation, which can force migration, contributing to social instability. Many cultures, especially in Pacific Islander communities, rely on reefs as a central role of identity and spirituality. Their degradation not only threatens physical sustenance, but also erodes cultural heritage, which is a topic that is not as discussed when discussing the impacts of coral bleaching, leaving these communities hurting and unheard. The environmental aspect of coral bleaching ties in both economic and social elements. The loss of coral ecosystems disrupts marine food chains and leads to the decline of countless species that depend on reefs and their habitat as their habitat and food source. Moreover, Moreover, coral reefs protect coastlines from erosion and storm surges, as I mentioned before, functioning as natural barriers against extreme weather events, which not only benefits humans but also benefits the habitats and ecosystems on land. The loss of coral reefs contributes to the degradation of ocean water quality as well. These healthy reefs can actually filter out pollutants and provide habitat for organisms that help maintain an overall ecological balance in our oceans. So, after talking about the background of coral bleaching, why it happens, where it occurs, and also the economic, social, and environmental impacts that it holds, let's now start talking about some solutions. Obviously, global warming and climate change have only aided and sped up the effects of coral bleaching, so efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, enforce sustainable fishing practices, and limit coastal pollution can all help mitigate the effects of coral bleaching. A lot of countries have started designating marine protected areas, which are also incredibly helpful in acting as almost like reserves for these environments. However, implementing policies on an international level that limit global warming can actually subsequently limit coral bleaching. Some examples of this in the past have been things such as the Paris Agreement, and these things are actually crucial in a crucial element to coral restoration and rehabilitation. Um, Public awareness is also an important factor in solving the problem of coral bleaching, whether it be on a larger scale by promoting corals on a social media platform, or even just spreading awareness to your community on what can be done on an individual level to prevent coral bleaching is incredibly important. With advancing technologies, however, there have been programs for selective breeding for heat-resistant corals, and this actually acts as another avenue for hope in preventing coral bleaching. And this concludes my presentation. Thank you.